Welcome back, y'all. Today we're gonna work on the core from a movement perspective. We're gonna ask the core to work in a lot of different angles, and some of these will no doubt be pretty challenging. So let's start down on our backs. Lift the legs off the ground, and we're gonna keep those up for the whole movement. Roll to one side and use your hands to gradually shift on your belly. Keep pressing those heels upward, roll back, and then alternate to the other side. Feel your torso have to shift and balance out your movement here. As we roll to the belly, the legs have to work in extension. This will activate all the muscles on your backside, including the glutes, hamstring, and spinal erectors. As we roll on our back, the front side of the body is turned on, and we engage the hip flexors and all those front side core muscles. But the juice of this exercise is in the transitions. Can we smoothly get from the belly to the back and then back to the belly? Fantastic work, y'all. Go ahead and relax. So we're starting this first round with the basic version of each movement. As we progress in rounds, we'll make these movements more challenging. This one is called the crab to L sit. To enter the movement, we will crawl forward a few steps. Bring your feet towards your hands and then transfer the hands behind you. Now walk yourself out until your legs are straight. Press firmly into the ground and then drag your heels towards your hips. Shift your weight forward and move back to the crawl. Try your best to make this transition nice and smooth. Get the hands behind you, walk them out, and then the strength portion comes. In order to compress our body to smoothly pull those knees towards the chest, we need to firmly press the shoulders downward, pressing hard into the ground, and then squeeze through our core and hip flexor muscles. Try to firmly press into the ground so hard that you could imagine yourself lifting your feet off the ground. And that's what we're gonna do in a subsequent round. I know these are challenging. Do your best. We got one more rep. Let's be nice and strong on this last rep. Yes, excellent work, y'all. So as promised, these are movement core exercises. We're moving low to the ground, putting our bodies in unique positions and acting our core muscles to produce strength and balance our movements. So now we'll focus on side to side movement. Begin in a low crouch position. Move both feet to the side of your body, press hard into one arm, hold for a couple seconds, and then back to our crouch. And switch sides. Make sure to actively pull the hip up during this side plank. Essentially, we're rotating our chest and torso to be supported by the front of our body and then the side. So feel the weight shifting as you move from front to side to side. And the more active that you can keep that shoulder, pressing firmly into the ground and away from the ear, the more active you'll make that top of the rib cage and shoulder blade muscles. But the reason I love these movements is because they're quite intuitive. You don't need to think about specific muscles. What you need to think about is making the movement less clumsy and more smooth. And as your movement quality gets better, you'll be improving your strength, coordination, and balance. Awesome work, y'all. Hope that one felt good. Take a few deep breaths and let's try to slow down our heart rate a little bit after those 3 intense movements. This last movement is optional. If you have a pull-up bar where you're training right now, I encourage you to do this. But if you don't, just keep resting and get yourself ready for the next round of movements, because the next round is going to become even more challenging. But here we're going to do the very simple hanging knee tuck. So hanging from the bar, we're going to bring the knees up towards the belly button 8 times. And if you can get it even a little bit higher, that's great too. Here we balance out our more movement style core work with something that's very straightforward and arguably the best exercise to strengthen your hip flexors and abdominal muscles. We also love it because we get some good hanging effects for the shoulders. Let's do one more rep and then go ahead and relax. So the core muscles are getting cooked here, but also the legs, the shoulders, the wrists, we're engaging everything in this workout. And for that reason, we need a quick break right now. Now, it has been hot out here in Austin, Texas, and LMNT electrolytes have been saving me. I love to train outside, but man, I'm sweating by the gallon right now. LMNT helps replenish that sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Now, we all lose these electrolytes if we drink caffeine, if we work out, if we sweat, and if you want to push yourself a little bit, it really makes sense to replenish these. So as you rest and grab some water here before this next round, think about using our LMNT link below to get yourself a free sample pack with the purchase of any electrolytes. Taste is unbelievably good. Back to training. Now, round number 2, we're gonna pick up the intensity and go a little harder. You ready? We're gonna do the same 360 leg lift, but this time we're gonna add in a V crunch every time that you get to your back. Use your hands to get to your belly, keep the heels up, reverse to the back, crunch. If the crunch is too challenging, no worries, just keep doing the 360 leg lift. The difference between this and a more traditional core workout is that we don't just want to fatigue our core muscles. We want our core muscles to make our movement quality better by assisting us in balance, coordination, and proprioception. It's also just a bit more fun and engaging. Let's do one more on each side. So for a heads up, on the final round, you'll be rolling from stomach to back without using the hands, which makes this a whole lot more challenging. Last crunch, and let's go ahead and relax. Not bad at all. We're gonna grab ourselves around a 20-second break here. You can always pause the video to take a longer break if you wanna recover a bit more. And this is serious fun work that we're putting in. So that means that it should be hard, but at the end of the day, it should be fun too. And as promised, the crab L-sit gets harder. Let's crawl, get our hands behind us, walk the hands out until the legs are straight. And this time we'll see if we can float the feet off the ground for just a second. Now this takes a lot of strength, especially if you have heavier legs. So always feel comfortable doing the previous version and not lifting the feet. Over time, you can work your way here. But a lot of y'all will be strong enough to lift those feet for just a moment. Remember that you don't have to hold it there for too long. We just want to get some lift off of the feet and then we can come right back down. Let's go ahead and do 2 more reps here. But remember, this movement isn't just all about the L-sit. Make the transition from crawl to crab as smooth as you can. And from L-sit, see if you can push yourself forward into a squat to shift into that crawl. It's one of the beautiful things about a movement sequence like this is we can keep making it better and better for a long period of time. And on this last L-sit, I'm gonna try to hold for around 4 to 5 seconds. Go ahead and relax. Excellent work, y'all. You guys are crushing it out here. Straight, legendary. And isn't this more fun than laying on the ground and doing sit-ups and planks? Now, anyone that has kids knows to really play and keep up with them, you have to be able to be strong, maneuvering low to the ground. And in that way, these movements will quite literally keep you younger. We'll change up our side-to-side movement by doing a half cartwheel. From a low position, place one arm down beside you and raise the hips. Try to find a stable position and then come back to the start. You must be very strong and stable through your shoulder and core connection here to support. Now, if you're finding this too challenging, then just assist yourself by putting your other hand down as well. Notice that when I go into position, I lift my other leg as well. Now this looks good aesthetically, but it also helps to counterbalance my weight. Essentially, you kind of make a starfish position with your body. This is like the moving side plank on steroids. Let's go ahead and do 1 more on each side. Last one, and excellent work, y'all. Now I know you're probably feeling a bit tired after that. I certainly am. We're gonna take around 30-second rest here, and then we're gonna move into our hanging leg raise. I think it's undeniable that we need a strong core to be healthy in our bodies. But what a strong core looks like will vary. You may do loads and loads of sit-ups and develop your ab muscles, and that's great. But you may not be able to do movements like this because your torso also needs dexterity. We need to be able to move in 360-degree ranges. But optimally, we can do it all. We can stiffen the trunk and move through rotations. This time, I'll keep the knees straight on my leg raises. This makes a longer lever, which challenges the hip flexors and the core more. If it's too challenging, you can always keep with the knee tuck variation. Or you can do as many straight leg as you can and then switch to knee tucks. But after completing those first 2 rounds, these are gonna become even more challenging. We're gonna do about 2 more. All right, y'all, excellent work. Take yourself a breather, shake out those muscles, calm your breath. We need to get some relaxation before this final round. And in this final round, we're gonna do the most challenging variations. Remember, you can always do the previous variations if these are too challenging, and these can be the goal to work towards in the future. So 360 leg raise, we're gonna do with no hand assistance. This means that we have to use our arms and our legs as a guide and as counterbalance to find that smooth rollover. The first few reps, you may just look like a fish flopping around out of water, but keep with it and you'll start to feel how you need to move each limb to aid in these transitions. Notice my arms. The side that I'm rolling to, I drive that arm up and under my body. The legs will also help by reaching towards where I'm going. If this is hard, trust me, it should be. Have fun figuring this one out. What a 10-minute core session. I hope you guys are feeling good after that one. I hope that I gave you some new movement ideas and new challenges to take on in your practice. So for our members, we go on to finish this round with a few new movements involved. You can try the membership for free with a lot more routines just like this one. First link in description. What was the most challenging movement for you? Comment below, as always.